In this video, we will share with you the amazing story of Dr. Daniel McBride, an American neuroscientist who reverted to Islam after deeply studying the Quran, where he found many verses that align with modern neuroscience. This was enough to prove to him that this book was from a divine power, because no man in the 7th century could be able to come up with such accurate information about scientific phenomena which were only discovered very recently after extensive research using modern cutting-edge technology.
There's no way we knew that 1,500 years ago. It just made sense. The Quran, even in the English translation, just completely made sense to me. The Quran just provided me with a cleaner option of all those stories, and then it added to it.
Dr. McBride, now known as Abdur Rahman, has been a physical educational teacher and neurologist. He was born and raised in a Catholic family and graduated in a Catholic high school. Being exposed to religion so often led him naturally become curious about God, the creation and beliefs. All he knew and believed was that there is one creator that holds power over all. His primary concern then was how he could worship the creator the right way.
As a Catholic, I was raised to believe God created everything, and then we pray to everything else. One of my younger brothers is into Christianity now, and he says, everything in the name of Jesus. And that's, that obviously a sin for us. And I said, well, if you believe Jesus is part of God, then why can't you just say God? And he just spends hours making no sense whatsoever.
He always asked himself questions like, am I doing enough to know the Creator? Are the ways of worship I was taught even right? Why do we believe in 3 gods, and which is the one who runs the universe? Such questions plagued McBride's mind, and he could not find a good enough answer for even one of them, until the day he read Malcolm X's autobiography, where he discovered how Islam had completely changed the African-American minister's outlook on life. He became curious and wanted to know more. As he delved into researching about Orthodox Islam, he found that he couldn't be part of Malcolm X's Nation of Islam, since it was primarily focused on black Muslims, and he was a white South African man. Then a friend of him gifted him a copy of the Holy Quran translated into English. McBride started to read the Quran thoroughly, where he discovered numbers of verses talking about scientific phenomena. As a specialist of functional neurology, he discovered verses talking about the structure and function of brain, something that he had spent years studying at university. He references the translation of Surah Al-Alaq, which is the 96th chapter in the Holy Quran, in verses 15 and 16, which mention the forelock, which is the lock of hair, and the forehead. These verses imply that all bad decisions made by a human will be inhabited by seizing the forelock. Fast forward 1,500 years, science has now revealed that the final decision for all good and bad actions are taken by the frontal lobe of the brain, also known as the forelock. How did Prophet Muhammad know this scientific phenomenon in the 7th century? Was he a scientist? Did he just guess? This shows that Islam is truly a genuine religion. Equally important, Dr. McBride found in the Quran verses talking about the nature of God, who is one and indivisible, and there can be no other like him. The Quran's teachings resonated with him, especially the emphasis on monotheism and the straightforward guidance it provides for living a righteous life.
Honestly, your life becomes easier. You tell me what the rules are, and now I know exactly what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. If I don't know the rules, then how fair is life? That's nothing but stress. I mean, it's like when the police change the speed limit all of a sudden and you get caught. Well, it's not really fair because you didn't know it changed.
Yeah,
the Quran is even in the English translation was so clear. This is exactly how we do things. This is right, this is wrong. These are the rewards, these are the punishments. It makes it easier for me to be a father. Islam has simplified my life beyond any measure I could have imagined.
Dr. McBride became absolutely certain that Islam is the right path which clarifies to its believers what is right and what is wrong, and even offers a scientific explanation for it all. For McBride, this was enough to accept Islam and start worship the Creator, the Almighty Allah. He made a call to a local imam and told him he wanted to become Muslim. After pronouncing his Shahada, he changed his name to Abdur Rahman.
Alhamdulillah, Allah chose me to be a Muslim. He chose each and every one of us to be a Muslim.
After becoming Muslim, Dr. Abdur Rahman announced his decision to his family, who didn't believe him at first. but he continued to explain to them what is Islam and why it is the right path to follow. After a certain time, his family too accepted the religion of Allah. Since then, Dr. Abdur Rahman has devoted his life to spreading the truth of Islam, where he has co-authored and published different books, including Who's Right, Who's Wrong, and Why. In this interesting book, he compares religious texts of Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. We will be delighted to read your point of view about the incredible journey of Brother Abdur Rahman to Islam. Thank you for your time. Assalamu alaikum.